Yo, what's up, guys? We got the winter update. So 12.14 is when the update is going to be dropping. We're going to have 6 new skins. The rare skins, we have Grux, Adele, Decker, Severog, Richter, and Iggy. This is going to be lasting until the 11th. So January 11th is when the next update is going to be, or the January mid update is going to be, and that's when these sales going to end. So if you don't get this, you're going to be missing out. So we got the Grux red skin. This one you're going to get for free. As long as you log in within that time frame, you're going to get this one for free. The next ones, we have the Adele Snow Rose. These skins are so good, by the way. Adele looks amazing. We got Adele, we got Decker, Severog, Richter, and then Iggy and Scorch. So those are all the new ones that are coming out, and they're going to be reselling the old winter skins. I'm really glad they're doing this because a lot of people missed out, including myself. A lot of people missed out on these legendary skins. So Shinbi is going to be coming back, and then also Rampage. Also, these two are going to be having like intros. You know how they're all the legendary skins are getting nice intros and back animations and things like that. Shinbi and Rampage are going to have their own intros and outros, so that's really awesome. And then the other skins are going to be Feng Mao, Kalari, and Gadget. Those are going to be coming back for a limited time as well till the 11th, January 11th, and then they'll be going away. No more purchases. The Mako skin got teased, but it's not going to be in this one. It's more than likely going to be at the end of the month update. So we get a few more winter skins at the end of the update. So that's all for the skins. And as far as hero and item balances, so we have some buffs to some characters and some nerfs, and then we have a lot of item changes as well. So first, we're going to get into the nerfs. Of course, Marty, really good character at the moment. So she's going to be getting nerfed. And looking at the list, they're hitting every single ability. It's nuts. So the right click, the multiple shot ability, they're gonna be decreasing the base damage, decreasing the scaling, increasing the mana cost, increasing the cooldown on it, and then decreasing the damage on multiple hits and the projectile speed. So it's gonna be hitting a little bit slower, but still should be okay to hit. And then whenever you have your E active, your E amplifies the damage. They're going to be changing the status on that. Actually, it's going to be doing more damage. So this bottom one is going to be a buff whenever you have your E attached to it. So for the most part, the right click is going to be nerfed pretty hard. The Q skill, they're going to be increasing the mana cost by a little bit, decreasing the base damage, decreasing the scaling, decreasing the second hit on the base damage, decreasing the second hit scaling, decreasing the range of the first and second hit. So it's gonna be a little bit smaller to hit, a little bit more skill shot, and decreasing the duration of the root and the slow. So that is all for the second ability, man. They are hitting her hard. She's really good, and they're hitting hard. I think she's still gonna be really good though. Her kit's just really amazing. And then the third ability, the E skill. So this is the one that you lock on before you do your combo, increasing the mana cost, increasing the cooldown by a little bit. Actually increasing this is gonna be a buff, so increasing the magical scaling, even though it's not a lot. I mean, it's very small scaling on this, but it's a little buff there. And then the ultimate, the big ability, decreasing the base damage on that, decreasing the scaling on that, increasing the charge and chase duration. So whenever it like hits, it dashes at you, and it's like, it's out, it'll dash at you, do a charge, and then it'll like auto attack for a little bit, then it'll do a charge again. So increasing that cooldown, decreasing the movement speed so you can be able to outrun it a little bit quicker, and decreasing the health and the damage overall. So just a massive nerf to Marty. I still think she's gonna be really good. Her kit is just a really good kit. Her combo is really nice. It's a lot of damage across the board that's getting nerfed though, so we got to try it out, see how big the changes are going to be. Next up is going to be nerf to FaZe. So FaZe is one of the characters that is like, at the high end, FaZe is not really a strong character. She's never picked in rank, or she's rarely picked at like high end rank, and even like tournaments like pro play. She's not really picked at all. But in casuals, she just does insane damage, and people don't really know how to adapt to her. So for that, she's going to be getting a nerf. The right click is going to get nerfed down to 6 seconds. The Q, her main damage ability, is decreasing the base damage, decreasing the scaling on that. The E skill, decreasing the base damage on that. That's one that, like, her beam that she shoots out. So that one is going to decrease in base damage, decreasing the scaling on it, and then decreasing the root duration from 1.5 to 1 second. and then her ultimate decreasing the base damage and then decreasing the scaling on it. So kind of just overall, just decreasing her damage overall on phase. Sarah's getting a nerf, decreasing the base damage on her right click and decreasing the physical scaling on it, increasing the cooldown at the higher end by 2 seconds. So a little bit less damage on that right click and longer ability. The ultimate, decreasing the base damage by a little bit, decreasing the scaling, and decreasing the burn damage, and then also decreasing the damage health that is increased. So whenever you use your ultimate, whenever you're burned, you take increased damage. So overall on Sarah, just kind of decreasing her damage overall as well. She's a really good character, one of the better junglers, or better warriors in the game, mainly played in jungle, decreasing her damage pretty much overall. Still actually getting a nerf was kind of surprising, but he is a really good character, but still surprising seeing the nerf, even though it's like nothing crazy, because you're decreasing the base damage on Steel. You're increasing the scaling on his physical defense. The more physical defense you have, the more scaling your shield bash does. But it's still, you're not really dying to him, but overall they're just kind of decreasing his damage a little bit. Adele finally getting a nerf. Adele's been really strong for the longest time, so finally getting a nerf. The right click, her shield, going to decrease the shield amount, decreasing the duration by a couple of seconds. The duration not really that important, 0.5 seconds. You're usually gonna, either you're gonna withstand a lot of damage where it's all gone, or you're waiting for your next ability cooldown to come up to use your ability. So 0.5 seconds, not a big deal. Shield amount is pretty huge, increasing the mana cost and then increasing the cooldown, so it won't be up as often. Ultimate, the base damage proportion to the target's max health is going to be decreased, and then the bonus damage is going to be increased, decreasing the physical and magical defense reduction, so they're not going to be shredding that defense, and then the slow effect is going to get decreased a little bit. So kind of overall just decreasing the damage a little bit. It's really just, it's super effective against tanks. Her ultimate is, so this will hopefully kind of bring her down. I think she's still gonna be a really good character. The shield is gonna be kind of huge, so we'll see if that nerf is gonna be pretty noticeable when it comes to leveling it up and increasing the cooldown a little bit as well. So we'll see if that's gonna be noticeable. Kwang getting a nerf. Kwang is really tricky. In the right hands, Kwang's insane, but for majority, he's not really that amazing. But still, they're gonna give him a nerf here. So the right click, Crescent Moon, increasing the cooldown a little bit, decreasing the base damage, and then decreasing the magical scaling. He's meant to be a tank. He's classified as a warrior, but you build him as a tank. But he still just does a lot of damage for a warrior. So they're increasing the base damage, the bonus damage on the basic attack hit during thunder and lightning, decreasing that base damage, decreasing the scaling. The Q skill, Rumble, increasing the cooldown 12 to 14. So the Q skill being where he throws a sword down and it kind of keeps you tethered in place. So that's going to be increasing by 2 seconds. The E ability, his dash, decreasing the invincible duration. So he's going to be a little bit more targeted. He's going to be easier targeted whenever he's getting that dash duration. And then the ultimate, increasing the base damage and decreasing the true damage. So again, kind of overall, he's a really hard character to play. But as a warrior, he does insane damage. If you can play him really well, he does crazy damage. So basically, overall, we're just nerfing his damage and increasing his cooldowns a little bit. So Wraith is getting a buff here. Wraith, Space Distortion, his E skill, decreasing the cooldown. That's going to be the rewind. So that's getting decreased. Increasing the mana cost on that though. But you'll be able to use your rewind a lot more often. The ultimate is kind of interesting. Increasing the movement speed from 25% to 40% now. So it's going to be a lot faster. And you're going to be decreasing the cooldown as well, so you'll be getting it up more often, 70 to 50. So a nice little change for Wraith. Well, we might be seeing some more Wraiths with the rewind and a better ultimate. Still, movement speed's really good. You can still find them in stealth, but having that burst of movement speed, I guess, is not terrible. So next is the Decker, increasing the ignition boots, the right click. So we're going to be increasing the cooldown on that. So that's actually a nerf. The plasma ball skill. Decreasing the cooldown on that, so you'll be hitting your stuns more, increasing the size, so it'll be easier to hit. The E skill, Plasma Down, decreasing the cooldown by 1 second, and also increasing the slow and attack speed up. So those max is 40%, now it's 45. So lower cooldown, and then increasing the slow and attack speed debuff, and then the ultimate, decreasing the cooldown so you have it more up. 110 to 90 at max. So good little change there for Decker. We don't really see a lot of Decker, so good change for her. Feng Mao. Feng Mao's he's been picked a lot in ranked, but it's because the other warriors have been banned a lot. So he's kind of like the next man up. There's usually like 4 bans for warriors, and he's or like 3 bans for warriors, and Feng Mao's like the 4th one that's, you know, I guess I'll play Feng Mao. But so for Feng Mao, we're decreasing the cooldown on his right click, his escape 9.5 to 8.5 at max. The E skill, the twirl, the base damage is getting increased. He's gonna be doing more damage, increasing the scaling. So overall, the E skill is gonna be increasing his damage, will help us clear. Great. Strong determination, his R skill, so his ultimate. Increasing execution requirement, 350 to 700, now it's 390 to 740. That's a good change. His ultimate now will be a little bit more effective, so that's good. And then increased reuse time after execution. Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. So whenever you ultimate, after 6 seconds, at level 1, after 6 seconds, it'll go away. Now it's be 8 to 12, so you can hold on to it a little bit more longer. It's a really good change. Low cooldowns, more damage on Feng Mao. I gotta try some Feng Mao, man. He might be pretty fun. Grim. So Grim is next up for the buffs. Deflector shield, his right click, his shield to stop abilities. Decreasing the cooldown, so you get that up more. His Q skill, the long range main damaging ability, increasing the scaling from 98% to 102%. Increasing the mana cost by 10, but more damage on the Q skill. The ultimate, decreasing the cooldown from 30 26, now 26 to 22, but decreasing the skill range from 32 to 30. Grim's getting a buff. He's been getting nerfed, and he just recently got a buff, and now he's gonna get another buff. We might see some more Grims, man. The increasing the scaling on his Q skill to hit really hard late game, and decreasing his ultimate cooldown in lane. You're gonna be getting poked a lot more. Be prepared to see more Grim, boys. All right, Grim's getting a buff, man. Sevarog getting another buff. Sevarog recently like randomly got a buff. They increase his like health stacks. Now he's getting another buff. The right click into the dark, increase unblockable duration from 0.3 to 0.5. The Q skill, the soul still increasing the health coefficient. It was at 0.02, now it's 0.03. Increasing the magical scaling on that to 0.15 to 0.18. The hollow breath E skill, decreasing the cooldown from 12, now it's 12 to 10, so you can use that more often. Increasing the coefficient. The ultimate, increasing base damage overall, and decreasing the cooldown of that ability, and increasing the magical scaling. So nice little buff for Sevarog. Yeah, Sevarog hasn't really been played a lot. He's mainly played in the jungle just because his stacking is so much easier in the jungle, but with like really great clears from other warriors and even Xena, it makes Sevarog harder in the jungle. So kind of showing some love here to Sevarog. Rampage, another tank getting some love. We've gotten some like, now that I'm looking at it, some mages, some tanks got nerfed. Adele, Kwang, Steel, and then we have some love for Sevarog and now Rampage. I'm down for it. So Rampage, Savage Heave, his Q skill, the rock ability, max, going to be decreasing the cooldown by a second, decreasing the stun duration. So it was 1.5 to 1.7, now it's 1.3 to 1.5. So lowering the cooldown, but you won't be as stunned as longer. Okay. Earthquake, E skill, the ground smash, increasing the physical defense coefficient by 0.3 to 0.4. The ultimate, increasing max health. Ooh. So 400, 700 to 1,000. Now at level 1, at level 6, he's gonna get 600 extra health, and then next one's gonna be 850, and then it's gonna be 100 more after that. 200 at level 1. Wow, that's gonna be a beefy boy when he hits level 6. That's a pretty good buff. Increased health recovery per second, 40 to 100. Now it's 60 to 110. Again, the early like is gonna be strong, man. Level 6 Rampage is be really scary to fight in a team fight when he's rotating to these objectives. Increased magical damage to nearby enemies from 20 to 30. Now it's 20 to 40. Okay. That's a good change. That's a good buff for Rampage. I'm down for it, man. Rampage is gonna be at level 6. Rampage is gonna be a tank. He's gonna be beefy. I'm down for it. Okay, so now we get to the item balance changes. That is all for the buffs. Now for the item balance changes, Sierra goggles. This is your percent nullification item, increasing the power by 10, but decreasing the percent pin by 5. So lower 20%. It was really high. 15%, increasing the gold by a little bit. Sitar chainsaw. This is the item that it builds into. Magical power, increasing by 10. So keeping that same thing and then decreasing it by 5. So little power buff by 10, but decreasing notification by 5 on the chainsaw. Berserker's Helm. Physical defense, magical defense is getting increased by 5, and then increasing the cooldown by 5. So 15% on Berserker's Helm. Good magical D and physical D, and getting 15 CDR. It's a pretty good item. The mace. This builds into Spirit's Fang. Looks like we're decreasing the number, the percent of the physical power. So whenever you do damage to a target, it's going to do a burst of damage, like an AoE burst of damage. So now it's gonna be 30% of that, increasing the gold a little bit. And then the main item, Spirit's Fang, decreasing power by 5, and then decreasing the physical power by 20%, decreasing the movement speed as well, or sorry, decreasing the movement speed by 2%, and increasing the internal cooldown by 3 seconds. This is like kind of your standard warrior go-to, even like your assassins. This might not be the case anymore. Spirit's Fang might not be that great. 50%, not as, down 20%. You're missing some power now, and then it's gonna take a little bit longer to proc it. Spirit's Fang might not be a good valid option anymore. Ghost Axe. So they recently buffed Ghost Axe, and it looks like they're nerfing Ghost Axe on their previous buff. So it was 10% whenever you deal damage to somebody. See that you proc anti-healing on them, you get 10% increased damage. Now it's gonna be 5% increase. So they nerfed it by 5%. Kind of the only thing right there for Ghost Axe. Hunting Instinct, a new item they recently came out. I wish they wouldn't have touched it and just gave it some time to see how builds work. But new item, decreasing the power by 5 and increasing the gold by 200. The passive is still pretty nice. You get a shield and you get 15% bonus damage. I believe it's 15%. Passive is still pretty good. A little bit extra gold here, a little bit less power. It could still be enticing. It could still be a play. Even with Spirit's Fang being gone, I don't know, maybe. And the last item here is gonna be Zink's Claw Barrier. Decrease healing affected to applied to all enemies. Now it's only gonna be applied to all enemies. Now it's only gonna be applied to heroes, so no anti-healing the objectives. Only change there by Zink's Claw Barrier. Pretty good changes, man. Kind of like it seems like a nerf to ADCs here. A little increase to the tanks, and warriors, assassins getting a little nerf. Yeah, the tanks have definitely fallen off in this previous patch, so it looks like we're getting a little bit buff back to the tanks in this one. And then speaking of tanks, demoralization, man, one of the worst karmas in the game. It's a pain in the ass. So before, magical, physical defense, and movement was decreased by 60%. Now physical and magical defense is decreased by 30% and movement speed by 40%, and increasing the cooldown. Great change. This was way too strong. 60% was ridiculous. So good change there for demo. And then the last couple of things: Agnes of Light, winter theme. We're gonna be in winter theme. Others. Oh yeah. So the fog wall that is on the inhibitor sides that you can't pass if you're on the enemy team. You can't pass those walls. That's gonna be removed by the inhibs, and the one near mid lane. Those walls are no longer there. You can pass freely. The only walls that are gonna be up are gonna be the ones in the jungle to help from seeing down the jungle lane. And then the hills near the dual lane that jump up, it's flattened out, so now it's just like a ramp. You don't need to jump anymore. So cool changes. I'm excited to see how the walls are gonna play in the game. It's gonna be a lot easier to gank mid if they wrap all the way around. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, though, I look forward to the change. I love these changes. Rampage getting some love, awesome. Sebrog's getting some love. Grim, I'm worried about Grim. Buffing Grim is going to be scary. We'll probably see more Grim in the game now. I think Mao getting some love. We'd love to see that. Decker hasn't been played in forever. Wraith, and then some nerfs here. Overall, pretty solid patch, man. Look at Marty's list. Holy shit. Marty got nerfed. Oh, wow. Yeah, Marty got hit pretty hard. And then we have our cool skins. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you think about the patch, and then I'll catch you guys. Oh, by the way, I will be doing a lot of, for all you console nerds, I will be doing out some codes. Just stop by my stream. If you didn't get any codes to get into the CBT for PlayStation 5, I will be giving out codes on my stream. So make sure you guys stop by there. Twitch.tv/40. All right, there, guys. Everyone take care. I'll catch you guys in the next video.